What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast. Here with a look at the DC Universe Classics Collect and Connect figure of the Green Lantern of Sector 3009. This is Stel. Stel's first appearance was in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 11. He's a creation of John Broome and Gil Kane, and of course those are the creators of Hal Jordan. Stel is from the planet Grenda, a planet full of sentient mechanical beings, and in addition to his Green Lantern ring, he also has super strength and enhanced durability. And he's had quite a few different looks over the years. There's very little that resembles really his first appearance as opposed to this. But I'm actually glad that Mattel went with this look. I think it looks just really outstanding. So there's no packaging with this figure. Of course, being a collect and connect figure, you got various pieces and put them together. This is a quick look at the wave in which Stel came. But let's go ahead and take a look at the details of the figure now. So the first thing that I really appreciate about this figure is how large the feet are, because that makes the figure very sturdy. I certainly appreciate that. Love the paint choice. This metallic green is just, it looks so great. You can see the light just dancing off of it. All these like little details with the bolts and these little lines that have been sculpted in. All this texturing. I really like that. You get pretty good articulation at the ankle here. It's stopped a little bit by the size of the back of the leg there, but you actually do get articulation here. That was something I didn't realize at first when I first put this figure together. You get all this texturing here along the knee. I like that. There's actually good articulation at the knee too, so it is not difficult to get this figure into a dynamic pose. Having a look at the upper part of the legs and the hip area here. Again, you get this continuation with all the detail here of this texturing. These gears, oh, that looks really good. Again, the continuation of this metallic green paint. The like little details like the bolts here. I just like all of that. Pretty good articulation with the leg to the side. Doesn't go up much further than that due to this part of the sculpt. You can get it to go out pretty far. Appreciate that. And you can get them to go back pretty far. So that is actually pretty impressive. So it's a ball joint in here, and that does give the figure good articulation. So I really like the ingenuity when it comes to this collect and connect figure. So let's have a look at the torso here, and you do get this swivel with the lower part of the torso, and I like that. You get this crunching motion with the upper part of the torso. Lots of good detail in here, and you can see that all these lines, you know, they really went the extra mile when it comes to the detail on this figure. See here on the sides, again, you get all these gears sculpted in. I just really like how that looks. Have a look at the back here. And the way the joint articulates, I mean, it really looks like something that's robotic, and I just really appreciate that so much. Really love the symbol, by the way. You know, obviously it should look different from the rest of the Green Lanterns as it's, you know, kind of become part of his body. And I just really like the attention to detail on this. Paint application's nice and tight. So let me talk about my biggest complaint with this figure, and that is these shoulder pieces here, the way that they are sculpted, they really hinder the articulation of the shoulder joints. Now, you still get movement here at the biceps, but you just can't get the shoulders to go up very far. The minute you try to articulate them up very far, they're going to hit this piece, and this chest piece here is all one solid piece, and it's not made to have the arms press against it. So if you try to force them up, you're going to break this piece, and certainly you don't want to do that. This is not an easy figure to find or a cheap figure to find at this point. Now, I don't mind trading a little articulation for detail, but I'm not someone who does a lot of dynamic posing. Some collectors may be a little frustrated with that. So let's have a look at the arms here, and you do get good articulation at the wrists. Goes all the way around, and you get this hinge that gives you some movement there. You get a hinge at the elbow here. I like that. You do have a bicep swivel, but again, because of the way the figure is sculpted and put together, if you try to do this with too much vigor, if you press against certain areas of the torso here, you're going to damage the figure, so be careful when you're doing this. Just take what it gives you. Don't try to force this joint. I'd certainly like all this detail. I mean, you see all these like little individual, like, I guess these are like power cells. That's kind of what I've always assumed was Stel. You get all this like, you know, texturing, like these are different metallic pieces, like segmented pieces working together. Same thing over here. This arm articulates a little bit better so you can see how the bicep swivel works. But again, just be very careful when you're articulating the figure. So here's a close-up of the ring, and I'm very thankful for the effort that went into this. As you can see, it's raised molding. It actually looks like it's there. It's not just a little bit of paint. You can see the Green Lantern logo, and I really like the way that the green metallic paint pops against this silver paint behind it. Again, this just looks really good. As we take a look at the head sculpt here, now aesthetically, I think it's just outstanding. You can see they've used that green paint to perfection. You get all this detail on either side of the head sculpt. Certainly appreciate that. I like this visor look. I think that's very fitting for the character. In terms of articulation, you can get him to look up, you can get him to look down. He goes side to side at least that much very easily. However, as you can see here with this piece, this neck piece is very pliable. It's actually part of the back piece here, and you can see that there's a lot of give in that. So if you try to articulate the head with too much force, you're going to easily either chip or even break that part off. So be very careful when you are turning the head, but for my purposes, I'm just very happy with the way that this head sculpt looks. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned at the end of the video for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Multiverse Musings vidcast, available right here on YouTube, which includes the Emerald Echo podcast that covers all of the exploits of your favorite ring slingers. And I'll be back to the internet with more Green Lantern related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.